Hello and welcome to another episode on Maritime Radar. The challenges in the Nigerian maritime industry is not a hopeless one, but there are important steps that must be taken. Nature has bestowed on Nigeria vast resources of a long coastline and long inland waterways, which makes us a maritime nation. But we must go beyond this to take measures, build and consolidate on nature's gifts by putting vessels on them. Most importantly, Nigerian flagged vessels to ensure deep ocean going international trade. Repositioning Nigeria's shipping sector for greater efficiency are some of the issues that will be on the front burner on today's show. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. The Nigerian Chamber of Shipping was formed in 2002 as a stakeholders body to ensure that domestic shipping industry participate fully in the Nigerian coastal waters and beyond. The body, which belongs and represents Nigeria in the International Chamber of Shipping, has grown to become an umbrella body for all stakeholders in the maritime and shipping industry in Nigeria and secure for its members maximum participation in Nigeria's domestic and international trade. The Chamber engages for itself in advocacy, training, consultancy, arbitration, chief financing, training, and workshops effectively serve its role. Before we get further into this lineup on the program, let's find out the latest in maritime news.
The Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) has commissioned the control towers it rehabilitated at the Lagos Port Complex, Apapa, and the Tinkan Island Ports Complex in Lagos. Managing Director of NPA, Mohammed Bello Koko, during the commissioning ceremony, said that the towers will ensure better visibility and safer navigation. The rehabilitation is to ensure that Lagos ports are competitive and that vessels are brought in on time. Bello Koko added that safety and security constitutes critical operational preconditions necessary for the actualization of the strategic intent of becoming the maritime logistics hub for sustainable port services in Africa. The rehabilitation of the control towers is expected to result in reduced training cost, improved capacity to monitor quality, speed, convenience, and deepening of local content. The Port Harcourt-Abonama-Kulu route in Rivers State is again under the security spotlight following the hijack of two boats by pirates. One of the passengers inside the boats, a woman, was reportedly thrown into the river by the pirates, but was later rescued. Officials of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria in the area confirmed the hijacking. They said the boat were carrying 12 passengers each. Most of them jumped into the river in a bid to escape abduction following the attack. MWUN chairman in Rivers State, Israel Pepple, has expressed worry that attacks along the waterways have resurfaced after a notable calm. Strengthening port security in Togo was the focus of a training workshop in Lomé, Togo. The workshop came up following the recommendation of the Security Need Assessment Mission conducted by the International Maritime Organization (IMO's) Maritime Security Team in Togo in 2019. Participants focused on developing and implementing port facility security plans in order to perform duties in accordance with the relevant provision of relevant IMO regulations and International Ship and Port Facility Security Code.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
If you are just joining us, this is Maritime Radar. The objective of the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping is to ensure that indigenous shipping industry participating in all commercial services in the Nigerian coastal waters. In this chat with Aminu Umar, President, Nigerian Chamber of Shipping, CEO, Sea Transport Group, and Chairman, NIMS Advisory Council, shares NCS core responsibilities and how it will aid in promoting shipping business. Stay with us. It's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be on your show.
And congratulations on your emergence as the 7th president of the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping. How does it feel, and what should we be expecting?
Thank you very much for the congratulations. It is a great honor. I feel privileged and honored by my colleagues who have decided to elect me as the 7th president. It's a big responsibility, and I hope and pray that I will be able to address and take up the responsibility. We have, I believe you can look at the history of the giants who were the past presidents, who have done a lot in developing this chamber to put it, position it to where it is today. I'm going to follow in their footsteps, and I intend to just increase in the advocacy which they have created over the years, and also create awareness in the industry, because if you look at what the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping is known for, is is advocacy, having dialogue and engagement with policymakers, regulators, the executive, and I'm going to continue in that side of it. Then the second role that NCS play is creating awareness, capacity development, educating the people within the industry on what it entails, and creating this capacity of seafarers, and I intend to also continue on that basis.
Okay, you've mentioned the core responsibilities of the chamber, which is advocacy, training, awareness, and all that. So how do you intend to engage and narrow it down to ensure promotion of the shipping business?
Well, first is to have a close relationship,
okay,
particularly with our regulators,
okay,
and all the agencies of government who are saddled with responsibility or duty to champion or to shape the industry. We are going to increase the engagement. We intend to also contribute to the policies they are looking at, to see that the policies are in line with what will benefit or create growth for the industry. So we are going to engage them. Likewise, the legislators, we look forward to the new house that is coming.
okay,
We are going to also engage them so much so that we can look at the policies that are favorable for growth, policies we would like to continue, they should allow it. The policies that we believe are impediment, we would like them to also review it and see that they put it properly. This is the line of engagement we intend to do, and we will partner. As a matter of fact, partner the policy makers, partner the regulators, partner some of the stakeholders in the industry, to see to it that there is this growth and capacity development is achieved. For us, we are from the operator side, so whatever it is that will support and create an incentive for growth in the industry is what we are going to push for.
You will agree with me that repositioning the maritime sector now, the time is now, it's imperative. We have a new government now. We have, as you mentioned, the National Assembly. Most of them are fresh in the Assembly. So do you have any blueprint? What exactly will you be engaging the government on? to ensure that the maritime industry and shipping industry is being repositioned to the path of development?
We have a lot of low-hanging fruits, which we intend to put together a paper that we will submit to the executive government. But we are so excited and encouraged because one of the speeches of Mr. President, we have seen that he has really made a statement on maritime, particularly maritime security. And he made that statement very clearly that his government will be going to put that in the front burner. So we are very encouraged with that. And we believe that from this statement that Mr. President has made, it shows that maritime is actually in the front burner. And we are very excited. We are actually putting together papers. We intend to very soon, or maybe in the month from now, to have a maybe courtesy call on the Vice President, who is the Chairman of the National Economic Council, and to also submit some documentation and presentation to him so that it will be something that they will look at it and put in the agenda.
And any particular thing that you want, maybe one or two that are permanent, you want to you would like to
industry,
share with the government?
Well, the industry, there is need for one, the security and safety of operation, which Mr. President has already mentioned is going to put that. He has already tasked the law enforcement agencies to make sure that that matters are closed and cleared. Yes, the past government have done so much on it. They have invested a lot, but the fact that Mr. President has already mentioned it, it means it will also be part of his priorities for this government. Secondly is the issue of one of the biggest challenges in shipping is capital.
Okay.
How do you get the capital, the funding? And we know that there are a lot of talk. The last administration have talked about CVFF, which is part of the investment capital that is required. So we are also going to push for that. The CVFF is yet to be disbursed. We are going to also maybe make a request to government to also open up other channels of intervention capital.
But now they've said that the disbursement approval has been made. What does that mean for the shipping industry?
Well, it's a positive.
Would that really curb the challenges you have with
it will
with
be
funding?
To some of the funding.
Okay.
You know, shipping is a very capital-intensive business, so it is a good step in the right direction.
Okay.
So it will a little solve the issue of capital for some of the operations.
But aside from the CVFF, what other areas are looking for funding? Because I don't think that $350 million is
700
going to,
over
700
yes,
is going to.
Because what the CVFF.
Okay, that's dollars. $350 million.
Yeah, no, it is, the fund is 350 million. The bank as well as the applicants or the operators will contribute another 50%. So which means it's 700.
Okay.
So we believe it should be more than 350 now. That
Okay.
when we started this discussion maybe a month or two ago, it's 350.
Okay.
So now it should be maybe hitting 400. So because every day we are contributing to this fund.
Okay.
So the fund is an ongoing contribution. It's not something that has
2%.
2% of all the operators in the industry that are operating within the cabotage regime.
But do you think that alone, this CVFF funding is enough to change?
We think there is a lot of requirement for more capital.
Okay.
We do not think that CVFF alone can solve the capital requirement.
Okay.
But at least it is a step in what we are requesting for.
Okay.
There are a lot of we will need a lot of government intervention.
Okay.
Intervention in encouraging particularly the banks in Nigeria to be able to give this funding for shipping.
But can you cope with the interest rate from the banks?
Usually, that is where government comes in.
Okay.
If government talks to them, there is a way that they can be able to make an incentive of the capital, of the interest. Sorry. We see it in NCDNB funding. NCDNB, which is funding a lot of projects in the upstream, or oil and gas, they have a kind of incentive for the interest, and they make, I think the interest is being taken at 50%, So they are able to cut it down by 50%. So we believe that if government intervene, CBN have done so much for that. They have done it before for aviation industry. They have done it for agric industry. They have done it for the manufacturing. So we do not see why it cannot be done for maritime and shipping industry too.
Up next will be the issues around foreign dominance, but that will be after this short break. Please stay with us.
News Central TV, Africa's #1 storyteller, has come with the best of both worlds. With a combination of news app and live TV, we ensure that you keep track of the latest headlines, breaking news, and in-depth analysis from professional journalists from around the continent. Download the News Central TV app on Android and iOS and get started today. Don't forget to follow us on News Central's social media platforms. News Central, Africa First.
If you're just joining us, this is Maritime Radar, and I still have with me Aminu Umar. He is the president, Nigerian Chamber of Shipping. Before we went on that break, I had asked the issues around foreign dominance and the impact it's making on indigenous players. What is the chamber doing to ensure these gaps are being bridged?
Well, I think first, we again is part of the why are foreign ship owners dominating the Nigerian shipping market.
Why? Why is it?
The reason is which is what I told you before. One is getting capital.
Okay.
So sourcing capital to be able to invest in the assets. So Nigerians sourcing it is difficult. But with the coming in of CVFF, you will see a lot of Nigerians being able to participate. We believe also if our banks encourage and the CBN intervene with the bank to see how they can be able to give those capital to Nigerians who intend to invest in the business, we will see a lot of Nigerians also investors coming in.
Okay.
So we believe that there is a little bit of growth in it, that though still it is widely dominated by foreign ship owners who have better capital, better funding options. We are mostly today in Nigeria, the only access you can have for funding is through debt financing, which means you go to a bank and borrow, or you go to CVFF intervention fund also and borrow, because it's part of debt financing. We do not have enough, should I say, knowledge and capacity to be able to go to other source of funding, which other international ship owners have access to that.
Okay, so will you now be engaging the indigenous shipping in this awareness on where they can also source funds? Then secondly, I will also want to find out, aside from funding, is there something government can do in terms of policy, in terms of laws that can also help to bridge this gap of indigenous?
Presently, the laws are already are there.
Okay.
The policies,
but they are the same. They are not implemented.
Exactly. I think the implementation is the issue. The laws are already there. One of it is the cabotage law. Second is the law that gives chances for Nigerian, particularly for Nigerian originating cargoes or cargoes meant to come to Nigeria. All those laws are there. The government have done so much of that that says you have to give it to Nigerian companies who have the capacity to do it. If there is any Nigerian company that has a capacity to do something, you have to give it to a Nigerian company before looking at any foreign company.
So aside from funding, are you pushing, what part of what you are going to send to the president, is it to ensure that these laws are implemented? Because it's not, we see that some of these things are not just only funding. Implementing those laws can also go a long way to address these challenges.
Yes, I think we have discussed that with the regulators.
Okay.
Because they are the ones that are supposed to implement, apply the law, these policies. So most of the challenges, some of them say is that, look, if you don't have the capacity and the customers or Nigerians need the the services of this kind of vessels, and you don't have those vessels available, how do we now implement or apply the law if at the end of the day it will be Nigeria that will suffer for it? So the question now is that provided we start getting the funds to be able to buy those size of kind of assets, then the regulator says we will now apply those laws to make sure that you are given that chances. So I think Nigerian Content Commission is doing a lot in that, local content commission, to make sure that these laws are being applied. Likewise, NIMASA is doing their own side of it too. So I think by and large, what we will advocate more, yes, we will request for more application of the law, but we will what is more important for us is the ability to get the funding and be able to do that. That's what is more important.
Okay, looking at seafarers, there are a lot of challenges around them, sea time training and all that. NIMASA has done well in training a lot of them, but we find out that they are trained and there's no sea time training. So what is the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping doing? Because that's where we have a good collection of ship owners and all that. So what are you doing to address this challenge?
Presently,
then also looking at the technology. Technology is changing things.
Yes.
So what are you doing to prepare ahead?
What we presently today, most of our members with their ships are already giving chances to Nigerians, both male and female seafarers who have undergone this training. Like you said, yes, there are a significant number of Nigerians, young youths who have done this training but doesn't have the on-board training because there's a limited number of assets here. But what we intend to do in the future is to talk, first of all, Nigerian Chamber of Shipping is an affiliate and member of the International Chamber of Shipping.
Okay.
So we intend to engage the International Chamber of Shipping, who have representatives all over the world and most of the big ship owners in the world.
Okay.
So we intend to discuss with them and see how they can also assist in giving Nigerians chances. Okay. And I say this again because in our company we have different nationalities. Okay. And we see how Nigerians, young Nigerians who are on board the ships are very, very hardworking and ready to work and stand at a very, very good position, because I will tell you, one of the key requirement for seafarer is that he can read and write in English and speak.
Okay.
And there is almost nobody in Nigeria today that have gone to school that cannot read or write and speak in English. Okay. And this I have seen in many countries who have challenges in language, particularly English language, who are today one of the top seafaring countries in the world, including Philippines. If you bring Philippines, who are the top in the world today in giving seafarers, you will see they have challenges in speaking English, which Nigerians are far better. And biologically, Nigerians were stronger by build. So you see, a Nigerian is not in the same size with a Filipino. We are more built to
strong.
Withstand. Strong, that is what it is. So biology, we are even at an advantage. And I think it is something that God has given us. We just need to harness this advantage and apply it for our youth. So we are going to do a lot of engagement. We are going to discuss with top shipping companies in the world to see if they can give us some chances, and we can post some of our good students who can now be good ambassadors. They have to sell for us, because as of today, seafaring jobs are sought after worldwide. They are in very limited number. And I think Nigeria, based on our population, we have the chances for our youths to be used for this seafaring job.
We must take advantage of that opportunity. Quickly, before I let you go, take us through the activities of Sea Transport Group.
Sea Transport, we are a ship owner and operator. We operate particularly tankers. We transport energy, which is oil and gas products, and it cut across the different part of the energy in oil and gas. We do CPP, which is clean. We have our assets that are, should we say, we have put it or apply them, some operating within Nigerian water in the cabotage regime, and we have some of our assets that apply only West Africa, which is the Atlantic side of Africa, so from Senegal to Angola, so that are busy on those routes. And we have some of our assets that are also working in Mediterranean and Europe, so they don't come here at all. So we cut across every certain shipping businesses worldwide. So we are very happy that we are a Nigerian company and proud to be, and it's something we have developed with our team over the years since inception in 2008.
I must say it's a good thing to have you on the show, and I will wish you luck as you engage with the new government and to ensure that we see this development that is required in our shipping industry. It's been Aminu Umar. He is the president, Nigerian Chamber of Shipping. He is also the CEO, Sea Transport Group. Many thanks for your time on the program.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very pleased to be in your show.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
And that's our show this week. I hope you learned something. I did. Every week, join us on Maritime Radar as we explore factors that will ensure the development of the maritime sector in Africa. You can also expect the latest in global maritime news and industry insights right here. I'm Nneoma Obi-Asualo. Many thanks for watching. See you again next week.